Assalamu alaikum. Pakistan is a miracle of modern world, and the man who was responsible for this miracle with help of Allah was Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, or Quaid-e-Azam as we know him, as the founder of Pakistan, is one of the most charismatic leaders the world has ever seen. All the same, we see that his personality is not very well known thoroughly and completely because he was an introvert. And about his personal life and his motives and what he thought and how he liked some things and disliked others, we have very little knowledge. Mostly, we Pakistanis know Muhammad Ali Jinnah from our course books and the media portrayal, and it has become now so superficial and so stale that we need to see the real man who was behind all that great endeavor of creating Pakistan. Muhammad Ali Jinnah is one of the people on whose personality there are many books written, and the books are written by extremely diverse authors. Some of the books are written by Pakistanis, some of the books are written by Indians, so there is a view of a friend and the foe present in both of these types. Then there are some books written by the Western authors, and these books can be more objective in approach because they don't have any love or hate relationship to this person whom we know as Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Books are the only thing that can lead us to the corridors of history. Through books, we can know the great people who have passed before us, and now we do not have any approach to their personality or their secrets any other way. I have chosen 6 authors here and the books that they have written on Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and I have tried to make it a very balanced approach. The first 2 authors are from the West, from America and New Zealand, so their approach is going to be more objective. The next 2 are the closest people to Muhammad Ali Jinnah and Pakistanis, so their approach would be very much more intimate and loving, and they should have a certain bias towards Muhammad Ali Jinnah as well because they loved him very much. The last 2 writers are from India. Of course, there would be no love lost between Quaid-e-Azam and Indians, and whatever they will write, it could be biased the other way, but still there are some very interesting points of view to be found in their books. Now we shall see one by one how these books deal with one of the greatest human beings Allah ever created. The first book is written by Professor Stanley Wolpert. This is Jinnah of Pakistan. This is actually the first book I ever read on Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and it was an eye opener. Stanley Wolpert is an American academic, Indologist, and author, considered one of the world's foremost authorities on the political and intellectual history of modern India and Pakistan. He has written fiction as well and non-fiction books on this topic. He taught at the University of California, Los Angeles from 1959 to 2002. Stanley Wolpert wrote this book on his own initiative, unlike the book Zulfi Bhutto of Pakistan that was actually commissioned by his family. So this book can be more objective because it was not a commissioned book, it was an independent work of the author. He was very keen on writing on Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and he has shown us a picture that our course books never show us of a man who was sincere and ambitious and strong willed, and he had a rare quality of being driven towards a goal all by himself that we do not find much in our modern leaders. Stanley Wolpert has started his book with some very beautiful lines. The lines that show what an important person Muhammad Ali Jinnah is. We just think that he was Quaid-e-Azam who wore a Jinnah cap and a Shirwani, and he was the first Governor General. But what the world sees in Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Stanley Wolpert here has illustrated. he writes, few individuals significantly altered the course of history. Fewer still modify the map of the world. Hardly anyone can be credited with creating a nation state. Muhammad Ali Jinnah did all three. His book starts telling us that what an extraordinary person this book is going to disclose to us. One thing, he changes the course of history. Second thing, he changes the map of the world. And the third thing, he creates a nation state all by himself. So these opening lines show us the approach of Stanley Wolpert towards Muhammad Ali Jinnah. He is going to be totally objective, but he cannot stop admiring the qualities and the traits of the characters of this enigmatic person. Stanley Wolpert also writes that he has been intrigued by the apparent paradox of Jinnah's strange story, which has to date never been told in all fascinating complexity of its brilliant light and tragic darkness. So the story of Jinnah here has light moments and it has dark moments. Stanley Wolpert specially gives a certain chapter to his personal life that is always surrounded by clouds, and we sometimes not know much about what happened to the failed marriage of Jinnah and what was the reason behind it. The book is about his political life mostly, and it shows that how he had struggled from the being the ardent nationalist that he was, from turning into a man who wanted a separate homeland for Muslims. The book is quite recommended by me and many others, and this book is actually one of the assets that we have about Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Very nicely researched and quite objective in approach. Strangely enough, this book has been banned in Pakistan for some time too, because Wolpert has written two events that are narrated by a Hindu associate of Muhammad Ali Jinnah who had his differences with Jinnah and he left him. And afterwards, he told some things that were not very positive about his character. Stanley Wolpert has recorded those events. Because of that, the book had been banned for some time, but I don't think this is the same situation nowadays. This is the second book, Jinnah, Creator of Pakistan, by Hector Bolitho. This guy, Hector Bolitho, was a New Zealand writer, and he was commissioned for this book to be written. He was called from New Zealand. He was given this commission by the government of Pakistan in the era of Ayub Khan, and he wrote this book after getting hold of every record Pakistan had of Jinnah's official and personal life. So Hector Bolitho did not have to research much. He had a whole team of the bureaucrats at his disposal who were providing him all the info around, and some of them actually did not like him at all. When we read Shahabnama by Qudratullah Shahab, there is some very interesting account of Hector Bolitho there, that when he comes to their offices, he is extremely full of himself with a certain white man post-colonial attitude, and he is trying his best to show that he is a superior human being to all the other possibly black nation. And this attitude was actually not liked by Pakistani bureaucracy, and their opinion about as person Hector Bolitho is not very good. Moreover, Shahab also wrote in his book that his style of writing is not extraordinary and he is a mediocre author. But after writing Jinnah, Creator of Pakistan, we see that there is a certain amount of maturity found in this book. Hector Bolitho actually excelled himself in writing that book because he had everything. He had the combo of the most successful book writing. He had info, he had every type of help from Pakistani government. He was being paid for that, and he apparently did a good job. Hector Bolitho has written a very readable and vivid sketch. His style is familiar. He tells about the character and career of Muhammad Ali Jinnah. He has collected a lot of data from Muhammad Ali Jinnah's colleagues and acquaintances, then he strings them very skillfully according to a review. And another review by Daily Telegraph tells us that Hector Boletho has written his best book here. This book is direct, unpretentious, and it is about the man who created Pakistan and who sacrificed his life for it. Another a review by Nottingham Journal that was published in 1956 tells us that Muhammad Ali Jinnah had achieved something with his dynamic and successful political approach that very few have done. So Hector Boletho has beautifully and skillfully illustrated and shown us the man who Jinnah was. So this book is also a recommended book, and it is nowadays published by Oxford Publishers. The third book, again it is a mysterious book by Miss Fatma Jinnah, the sister to Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the beloved sister who stayed with him till the end of his life, and she took care of him and his health as much as she could. Her struggle for independence is actually as sacred as that of Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and she is a very prominent figure in Pakistan political history. Fatma Jinnah was the Pakistani politician, sister of Jinnah. She helped her brother realize his goal of an independent nation for Indian Muslims. And she also stood for the presidency of Pakistan in 1964 as a conservative candidate. Mohtarma Fatma Jinnah, who was also a dental surgeon, and she had her own clinic before she started working with Quaid-e-Azam, has written this book, My Brother. This book was written after she saw that many biographies of her brother are circling around, and there are some truths that need to be revealed. So she wrote that book, and that book was an eye-opener. It was going to tell the people how some very close companions of Jinnah were actually working against him, and how almost by a conspiracy he was not taken care of as much as he should have been when he was very sick. So this book was banned, and it had been banned for a long time. When I found it for the first time, it was in 90s when it was published for the first time after a long ban. The book tells how Jinnah was alone in his struggle, and alone in not in creating Pakistan but in running Pakistan. He was trying to make this nation stand on its feet, and actually he was not gaining any help from the government that he himself had formed, especially from the Prime Minister that he thought he was his best companion. The book is a very close and very intimate account because it is written by his sister, and this book was written after Miss Jinnah saw that Hector Boletho has written a book in which many things are absent. So she wanted to fill the gaps, and she wanted to tell the truth to the world, and as usual the truth was suppressed. But now this book is available and we can read it anywhere, and this book is found in most of the bookshops. That is a good thing because truth needs to come out into the light as much as possible. This book by Ghulam Ali Allana, who was known as G. Allana, is unavailable. I realized that this book is out of print. You cannot find it in Pakistan. Even you cannot find it on Amazon. I have also read just few excerpts from this book, not completely, not thoroughly, because this is not available. The Quaid-e-Azam Jinnah, The Story of a Nation by G. Allana was a very detailed account and a very faithful one, written by one of the close companions of Jinnah. Ghulam Ali Allana was a friend and biographer of Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and he also entered the politics at an early age. He played an active part in Pakistan movement. After partition, he was instrumental in forming the Federation of Pakistan Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So he is a bureaucrat and a politician as well. He has written about the days when he worked with Jinnah, and he observed certain traits of his characters. Actually, he is the eyewitness to Pakistan, that what happened when Pakistan came into existence. Very precious book, very important document, sadly not available nowadays. One part of this book, a chapter that was called The Liberator, is also included in the syllabus of BA in Punjab University, and that chapter analyzes Jinnah's personality traits. According to G. Alana, there were 4 things very prominent in his personality. He writes that Jinnah was a man with a strong willpower. When he decided to do something, you could not change his mind. Nothing could ever change his mind. Then he was a person with an independent opinion. He will listen to people, he will hear their opinions, but he would never change his own opinion on this accord. He always thought independently and was a very strong minded person. Then he was sincere in his goal and in his ambition, and he was very devoted to the cause of Pakistan. And Giuliana also realized that he was extremely hardworking and industrious person. We know that how hardworking he was, because in his last days, when he was suffering badly from his health conditions, he was still working for Pakistan tirelessly, which only worsened his already fragile health. Now we come to the books written by the Indians, because there are many books written about Jinnah by the Indians. Generally, Jinnah is taken as a traitor to the cause of India by the Indians. They believe that because of him, their motherland was split into pieces, and he was alone responsible for that human tragedy, that our nation was divided. So they would not be sympathetic to the cause of Pakistan. Then why do they write about him? What do they have to say? This book, Jinnah, India Partition, Independence by Jaswant Singh, is one important document. Jaswant Singh is an Indian politician. He belongs to the Bharatiya Janata Party, and so he would be, that very much in the line of the present government. He has held many portfolios in the national cabinet, including finance, external affairs, defense, and he was also the leader of opposition for a long time. He has some moderate political views, and he is considered a liberal democrat, even though Bharatiya Janata Party is a right-wing nationalist organization. So he wrote that book. In that book, his mostly approach is of 2 types. When he starts the book, Jinnah's personal life is faithfully delivered. Then he moves on to the period when Jinnah was in Congress, and he praises his decisions and his personality and everything. Up to 1930, Jinnah is a hero. But afterwards, when he takes a turn and goes towards the All India Muslim League, and he changes his stance, then Jaswant Singh starts criticizing him, and then he believes that whatever he was doing for a personal ambition, and for that personal ambition he almost ruined the motherland India. Obviously, this is what we can expect from a BJP minister. When the book was published, there was a massive controversy for Jaswant Singh. BJP leadership immediately sidelined him for writing a book assumed to glorify Jinnah. You see that people don't read books. They just see the title and the name, then they assume what is within the book. So the BJP, that is not a very intelligent or well-read style of party. They believed that the book is in favor of Jinnah, and Jaswant Singh had to suffer a lot because of that. When the book was read, then people came to know that it is largely an objective book. Sometimes it becomes boring, it is not very well written. Obviously, you cannot expect from a politician to be a very good author, and sometimes it could be more crisp, more readable. Still, it is balanced in the very start, and after 1930s, obviously, it moves on more towards an Indian stance. Still, it is a very valuable book for in the history because it would show what the Indians think of Jinnah as well. This is our last book. This is by Sheila Reddy, and she has written extensively for leading Indian newspapers and journals during her over 35 years in journalism. So, this is a book written by a journalist, and the book is not about politics, it is about the personal life of Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Mr. and Mrs. Jinnah, The Marriage That Shook India by Sheila Reddy. A very interesting book. The book in detail looks at the strange marriage between a 40 years old Jinnah and the 18-year-old Ratanbai, who was a Parsi girl and belonged to a very hi-fi, rich, influential Parsi family. This wedding, that was an intra-religious wedding, was a shock to most of the people. And when we read about it, we see that no one seemed to be happy with this wedding except the newlyweds. This was quite a scandal, and everyone was in favor of Sir Densha Patel, who was the father of Rati, and they thought that it was a very heavy blow dealt to him. But we see that the newlyweds, Mr. and Mrs. Jinnah, they loved each other very much, and although they belong to two different religions, the story is very closely related and looks a lot like the story of Romeo and Juliet of Shakespeare, except that in the end Rati died, Jinnah survived, but all his life he did not marry again. Actually, his heart was also dead along with Rati. Sheila Reddy, in the book, she has used never before seen personal letters of Rati, and she has also negotiated with her close friends, and after that she has portrayed this marriage that actually shook India, but it was a very happy marriage in the very start. She takes us on a journey in which we see that how Jinnah is a solitary person and he is misunderstood by most, and Rati, the most beautiful woman around in those times, is so delicate that she is unable to cope with the political upheaval of Jinnah's life. So, although these two people love each other very much, but they are unable to go along with each other, they separate for some time, but they keep loving, and after some time, Rati dies at the very young age of 29, leaving one daughter, Deena Jinnah, behind. And Jinnah is seen crying on her funeral, and afterwards, the servants tell that how he used to keep the keepsakes of his wife in one trunk, and he opened that when he was alone and kept looking at her pictures and clothes and other things that she used, and it shows us that how much love he had for his wife. So this sad, tragic, non-political tale here is told to us by Sheila Reddy. There are some more biographies that we have not discussed in detail. I will just say a few words about them. One of them is by Aisha Jalal, the sole spokesman, Jinnah, the Muslim League, and the demand for Pakistan. This book is written totally from a political point of view, and it in detail encompasses the whole situation, that how Pakistan came into existence, how Jinnah dealt with Muslim League, and how did he go for the demand of Pakistan, all the process and procedure. A very good book written from political point of view. Then there is Jinnah, Pakistan and Islamic Identity. This book is by Akbar S. Ahmed, a very celebrated book. This book tells that how Muhammad Ali Jinnah, as another book shows him as secular Jinnah, was at heart a very devout Muslim, and he wanted Pakistan to be a Muslim state. The third book is by Kiran Doshi, and the Doshis were the family friends of Jinnah. Book's name is very interesting. The name is Jinnah Often Came to Our House. This book tells that how Muhammad Ali Jinnah came to their family for a visit, mostly in the evenings, and this book totally shows that how the friends of Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the non-political ones, saw his personality and perceived him as a person. The dress he wore and his style of fashion, that is still very relevant. We see that he was an extremely fashionable, stylish person, and his habits and his dealing with his friends, these things are to be read there. This is a huge book and tells a lot about Muhammad Ali Jinnah that we cannot actually know otherwise. Then there is Memories of Jinnah. It is written by K.H. Khurshid, who worked as a personal secretary of Quaid-e-Azam for some time. As we know that close family members and personal secretary are the people who know a person very well. So these memoirs are very interesting because we see that what a professional he was and how hard working he was. We realize that Muhammad Ali Jinnah actually forfeited his health, his life, everything for Pakistan, and all these things are beautifully detailed in this book by K.H. Khurshid. The last book is Memories of Fatma Jinnah, and this book is written by Suraya Khurshid, who was a wife to K.H. Khurshid, and this couple lived in an annex in the governor house with Miss Jinnah and Mr. Jinnah. So both of them knew everything about the brother and sister, and Suraya has written what Fatma Jinnah narrated to her, and this book is so much full of light moments of the brothers and sisters life, and also that sort of people they were, that it is just a simple delight to read it. These were some more books, and through all that passage through the books written about Jinnah, we come to realize that how celebrated he was and how he caught the imagination of the world by a storm, and how enigmatic he still seems to us. So he was not only that Muhammad Ali Jinnah that we know, and sometimes we write Rahmatullah Alayh with him, and we always envision him with a Jinnah cap, with a Shirwani, in his old age, in his 70s. But we need to know the person he was before. We need to know the person he was from the start, how he evaluated, how he changed his political stand thoroughly and completely by realizing the ground facts after coming back to India. And everything we can know about him is now in the books. So we need to read a few and know him closely and much better than we already do by our typical Darsi Kitabein. Thanks for watching. Lots of love for Muhammad Ali Jinnah and prayers for him. May God exalt his status in Jannat.